Good evening and welcome back to the Cheltenham Exchange and our latest video for the festival trials preview on Saturday at Cheltenham. As you can see, we've got a very special guest, Ian Rayner. Got you that one again. No, we're honoured to be joined today by Miss Liz Bachelor. Bit the old French. No, the lovely Liz is with us tonight from In the Saddle podcast. So thank you very much for joining us, Liz.
You're welcome.
We hope you don't find it too unprofessional. If you do, keep your thoughts to yourself, please. Unfortunately, no Matty tonight. Matty's shift pattern's not helped. He's in bed. But we have the boss man Ian, we have Alex, we have Johnny, and Johnny and myself should be here all night, but we have been experiencing a few technical difficulties in deepest, darkest Wales with our broadband. So if we cut off, please excuse us. Everyone doing okay? How are we all?
All good.
All good, thank you. Looking forward to the weekend.
All set for next week.
Saturday. So, Johnny, Ian, you're off to the DRF next week here?
Yeah.
Over to Ireland.
And Liz.
You going, Liz? Love it. And Alex, no doubt, will be Cheltenham Saturday. Are you at Cheltenham Saturday, Liz?
No, I couldn't quite fit it in. I'm away this weekend, so I can't go. So DRF it is.
Lovely. I'm very jealous. Ian's extremely excited about the Irish trip. He's not mentioned it. He's kept it under his hat, hasn't he? Right. So, Saturday at Cheltenham. Well, before we get on to Saturday, some interesting news today. Allaho out of the Ryanair. Johnny, makes your selection on Envoy LN all the stronger.
Yeah, I noticed he's been halved in price today, I think, down to 4 to 1, 9 to 2. So, gives him a better chance, I guess.
Yeah. Monkfish, back with a bang today. That was nice to watch. Happy about that?
Yeah, very impressive.
Hopefully they don't do what they did last year and then run him again in like 2 weeks' time and bottom him out. I can't see them being that stupid twice in a row.
What do you reckon?
Just need to give him some time off again. Just obviously it's his first run back.
Send a letter, Alex.
Sorry?
Send a letter.
Yeah. Hi, Willie. Don't be an idiot.
What did we were told today by Mr. Gilborn in the chat, weren't we, John, that he looked like he'd barely been out for a trot in the
very fresh, he said.
Yeah, he wants to run him again, doesn't he?
If he went festival, where do you reckon? Stay over hurdles in the stayers or Gold Cup crack?
Yeah, he's going to run.
I think he'll probably run the stayers, really.
Keep him for Aintree.
All punches down.
Good. Right. So without further ado, Saturday's racing at Cheltenham. We'll go through the card race by race. You guys can all give us your thoughts and hopefully we can find some tidbits that people might find somewhat interesting. So, kicking off, first race, 12:05, JCB Triumph Trial Juvenile Hurdle. And we got Burdett Road and Sergino clearly at the top of the markets here. And having a very special guest, we should not start anywhere else. But Liz, if you'd like to lend us your thoughts on this one, please.
Yeah, so as you say, it's a race for 4-year-olds. It's very much, for me, a Burdett Road versus Sergino. Burdett Road, obviously a horse that switched from flat to hurdles, was a big prize winner at Royal Ascot, and he's come a third and a fifth in a Group 3. He's got obvious speed, as shown in his win at Cheltenham in November on soft ground, and he's just taken to hurdles very well. He's currently favourite for the Triumph around 4-1. Sir Gino's priced around 6. Wears a hood again, and he's beaten some of these also in this race in the past. With Sir Gino, Nico's obviously still off with a collarbone injury, so James Bowen has taken pretty much all of his rides. Won at Kempton very, very easily, 14 lengths in December. Lots of talk about him. I think it will be a great race to watch, but I think Burdett Road is too good with his speed, and I think he'll be the winner here.
Went nicely up the hill in November, didn't he? Finished off very nicely. Right, where should we go? Thank you, Liz. John, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, Liz has said quite a lot about it there, but yeah, it does promise to be a cracking start to the day. Though I'm going to go the opposite way on this, and I'm going to side with Sir Gino over Burdett Road. I know we've had countless discussions in the chat or arguments or whatever between the two, and it's quite split really between us all, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to go with Sir Gino. Obviously, I understand that Burdett Road's been very good on his 2 starts to date, and he's obviously got an engine, but I do worry a little bit about his jumping. He has kicked a few hurdles out the ground so far. Obviously, he might improve for that. We won't know till Saturday. So Gino obviously wasn't perfect on his debut either, but I do think he jumped a little bit better. So I think he's still got a bit of improvement in him. Just looking at the figures there, we don't have any official ratings really. Well, we don't for Sir Gino yet, but Burdett Road put up 119 RPR on his debut. Sir Gino put up 127. Burdett improved then to 133 for his second run. And hopefully Sir Gino can do something very similar, maybe put up a bit more. Both have been actually pumped up now since then through collateral form. I think Burdett Road's gone up to 142 and Sir Gino's gone up to 136. So with another run, I put them quite sort of level really. So I think it should be a thriller to start us off. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Sir Gino.
Yeah, I think the 2 horses behind Sir Gino at Christmas have both come out and won since, haven't they? I think.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty sure.
Obviously they weren't rated very highly, but they've still come out and won, and they're improving as well. So you've got to look at that as well. So yeah, it should be a good race, and whoever wins will be favourite for the Triumph, won't they? So we'll see. We'll see on Saturday evening.
Lovely. There was a little fist pump from Ian there, so I'm guessing he may be going Sir Gino.
I am. It was. I've got to say, yeah, it was really tough to call. So we was there in November when Burdett Road won, but with both of his races, he seemed to clump I keep saying fences, hurdles. It reminds me a bit of Goshen actually. If he could jump as well as he finishes off races, he'd win by half the track. But and Johnny mentioned about Sir Gino, and he similar sort of thing when he's run at Kempton, bit green, similar sort of jumping issues. And you guys have touched on some of the others. I think Rollway and Tornio, I think, have won Class 4 races since. And I think it was even a horse called Sullivan Bay, who's won a dirt race at Cheltenham. I think he won it last week. And on the other side, if you look at Burdett Road, Braydan Fessa, I think won last time out at Cheltenham and won a Class 2. So it is really tough to call. But I would say more for his jumping and a bit more pleasing on the eye for me. I'm going to go with Sir Gino.
Thank you, Ian. And Alex, your thoughts as well, please.
Well, I put up Burdett Road in November. I was really keen on him for that race at Cheltenham, and obviously he obliged. He scooted in, didn't he, really? It looked like he was in trouble the whole way and then just flew up the hill. I'd be kind of hoping they might change tactics on him this race because I can't really see any horse in there that would probably look to lead. So I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to go from the front this time and see if he can do it in a different way. Give him a different kind of experience, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to say Sir Gino is a bad horse because he's not. He's obviously a very good horse. But, I mean, the fact that he started at Kempton, I mean, you couldn't really find a course that's any different to Cheltenham, could you really? I mean, it's flat and it goes the other way around. So I'm going to stick with Burdett Road. I mean, I know he's a short price, but I think he'll win this and I think he'll win the Triumph.
Thank you, Alex. It's a split vote. 2 each for Burdett Road and Sergino. And if Matty was with us, I'm pretty sure that he'd tilt the vote in Burdett Road's way. He's pretty bullish, isn't he? Okay. Getting a bit of feedback there. That's got to be Ian with his technical issues again. Poor John. Poor job, Ian. Poor John.
Your bloody mic again.
I haven't got it connected. That could be the problem. Right. Okay. Thanks, guys. That's the first race over. So we'll move on to the second race at 12:40. We've got Timeform Novices Handicap Chase over 2 mile 4. Ginny's Destiny tops the market currently around 3-1. And my eye, obviously, with my 50 pences, was immediately drawn to Railway Hurricane, because you could pretty much back anything Gavin Cromwell runs at Cheltenham absolutely blind this year, I think, couldn't you, so far? Well, this season, rather.
A good record over fences, that Railway Hurricane, OJ.
Yeah, well, last year he was a bit of a fave. I thought he was running okay last time when he fell. So, was it in the Fugitive race, I think, was it? He came down last time.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, that's enough of that. Johnny, go for it.
Yeah, nothing original here. I'm just going to go with the top weight and current favourite, Ginny's Destiny. He's got the form in the book and obviously likes the course with 2 wins already here this season. He might have had a little bit of luck in those wins with other horses not jumping properly towards the finish there. But to me, he always looks like a horse who's got quite a lot under the bonnet. And when he gets challenged, he just seems to pull out more and more. So, he does find quite a bit off the bridle. So, I think this should be a decent race. But I'd go with Ginny's Destiny in this. Just looking down the card, our old favourite Unexpected Party's there as well. He's a big price, really, at 16-1. And he gets a few pound off Ginny. So he could be there or thereabouts. But I'll go Ginny's Destiny, maybe a little each way on Unexpected Party for old time's sake.
Lovely. Thank you, John. Alex, what do you make of this?
Well, I mean, the form, obviously, of Ginny's Destiny has been very much boosted, obviously, with... what's the Skelton horse? Grey Dawning, obviously winning that graded race last weekend. But the horse I'm gonna side with has form with him, and he's also got form with the second favourite, Blow Your Wad, and it's S Perfecto. He was 10 lengths second to Ginny's Destiny early this season, and now he's £15 better off. He was also beaten 4 lengths by Blow Your Wad in a separate race, and he's now £6 better off with that horse. So, I mean, the weight swing to me is going to obviously get him a lot closer. He's had his injury problems. I mean, he's a 9-year-old, and I think he's only had 9 or 10 races, so he's not exactly been the most straightforward. But before his most recent injury, he was sort of a 134 rated hurdler. He's now a 123 rated chaser, and he's got progressive RPRs as well. 116, 126, and then 128. So it looks like he's sort of getting back up to the form that he had pre his injury. And I'm going to take a chance that what is he, 8-1-ish, 8-9-1, that he could be the one to follow. So that's the one for me.
That's perfecto for Queenie, as Paul Myers would say. Queenie. Okay. Thank you, Alex. Liz, what do you like in here?
Yes, for this, Ginny's Destiny, would he have won his last race at Cheltenham if Grey Dawning had jumped the second last better?
Probably not.
I don't think he would. I think that was Grey Dawning's race. I was actually on Grey Dawning that day. Plenty of tears. Obviously carries top weight and beaten a few in this before. I wonder if the ground is maybe a concern. He prefers it soft to heavy. There's no rain coming. It's more on the good side. If it is more on the good side of soft, then I think that might be an issue potentially. I keep hoping Unexpected Party shows his colours since he won in October at Chepstow, beating Nappers Hill, but he just hasn't shown that same form since. That being said, he's now £1 lower than his last winning mark. And I think you joked about it at the beginning. Gets on fairly well at Cheltenham. Last 3 runs he's been there, has come away with a second and a third, and he's fallen last time out. when he came third to Ginny's Destiny by 15 lengths, he was badly hampered at the second last. He's carrying £3 less, and now he's carrying £18 less. I think he could surprise.
You know what's coming, Al? Oh, that's great stuff. Railway Hurricane. Ooh, I like that. Love that.
Each way at 25 to 1.
Oh, each way. Yeah. Gotta like that. Gotta like that. Thank you, Liz. Railway Hurricane, 25 to 1. Oh. Be raiding the coffee jar tonight, Ian.
OJ, your 50s are coming out.
Where's your coffee jar?
It's not done too well lately, but I'll give it a shake in a bit, see what's left. Yes, right. Go on then, Ian. Wrap it up for us.
Well, I'm going in with the middle between the two guys. When it's I prefer Blow Your Wad. Couple of good chase runs this season. Second to Le Patron at Sandown. He's had quite a good season. One at Kempton on Boxing Day. I think he's coming top weight 11-10, beating Outlaw Peter and S Perfecto, who Alex said he likes. I know he's I don't know. The weight's difference. I'm not so sure, but I can see where Alex is coming from. And of course, Blow Your Wad is getting £8 from Ginny's Destiny. And again, I think the guys have touched it on. I can see why he's favourite. Previous Cheltenham wins, the Formula 1 with Grey Dawning, and of course, Stage Star won this last season. But I'll go with Blow Your Wad.
Thank you, Ian. And thank you all. So Blow Your Wad for Ian. Johnny's sticking with top weight Ginny's Destiny. Alex S Perfecto for Alan King. And Liz has got me all excited about Railway Hurricane for Mr. Cromwell. Loving that. Great stuff. Right. Third race of the day, the 1:15. Paddy Power Cheltenham Countdown Podcast Handicap Chase. Over 2 mile 4 again. We've got one of our old favourites in here, Garlaw, Hitman, a couple of Ryanair contenders last season. Okay, who wants to kick us off here then? Alex?
I could, but I'll be honest with you, OJ. No. I'm just going to say I haven't really got anything I particularly like in this race. I went out for it a few times and I just thought it's a bit too much of a puzzle for me. So, no real selection in here. I'm going to do my best Matty impression and have a little sulk instead.
Sit it out and watch. Competitive.
I'll have a beer instead for this race.
That's not a problem, Ian. That's not a problem. Alex, even. Ian?
I'll go with an each way one, OJ. Again, I always seem to pick horses I can never pronunciate. So
Bill Baxter.
Is it Jetois or Jetoy? I can never bloody pronounce it. But I think it's quite a big price at 11 to 1. He's had one run this season, but 3 wins. He's had 3 wins on the bounce. He's only gone up to £4 since his old Rome win at Cheltenham in October. But he beat some good horses in that race. Al Dancer, Hitman, who's also in the race. I think he come last that day. And I think also in that race, Earn River and That's All Right Gino have come out and won since. Now, I was just looking throughout the card as well. Some of these other horses, I'm not quite sure if they're looking to change the handicap or not, but they've been running over 3 miles, like Victorino, Garlaw, Hitman seems to want further, like he's been running over 2.7. And that's what drawn it to me. I backed Ilwadoto last time out, but I'm not sure again. I know he's favourite this time, but I'm not sure. But as the guys have said, it's a bit of a puzzle, this one. So I'll go with an each race shout. So I'll go with Jetois or Jetoy.
Jetois for Ian, who decided to speak more about the ones he didn't like than the ones he did. Thanks for that, Ian.
That's all right.
Liz, anything catch your eye in here?
I'm going to copy the others. I don't have a particularly strong fancy in this either, to be honest. And there's a good number of runners. But I looked at Excello for Nicky Henderson. It's his 3rd run since being brought over from France. There's no 5-year-old has ever won this race and no 7-year-old has won it since Anna Cotti in 2015. So that kind of maybe rules out Il Redito, Fred Arms and Lounge Lizard. They're all 7. But Excello last seen winning well at Ascot last month, beating Solo by 6.5 lengths, and Strawfan Jack, who also runs in this, was 3rd. The more I read into it, the more I think he would be my selection. I think Il Redito has got to go off. Well, he's running off his highest rating given of 148. He's a good jumper, but I would lay him, to be honest. But Excello for me.
Thank you, Liz. And Johnny, you were a bit of a Bill Baxter fan, Johnny? Do I recall? Not really.
Particularly. He's all right, isn't he, I suppose, but I'm not picking him for this anyway. I agree with everyone else. It's a bit of a trappy race, not one to get too involved in. But I'll just side with Venetia's horse, Victorino, each way probably in this. Again, he's gone up in the weights for a decent performance last time. Hopefully he's got another win in him before the handicapper catches up. He's obviously unproven on the course, which is a little bit of a doubt. And also on his British debut, he didn't jump too well at Ascot, but then he jumped a lot better the second time. But with it being Venetia, hopefully she schooled him a bit now on the British fences there, and hopefully he can run a good race. I have noticed actually he won. I know he's dropped back in trip here, but he did win a 2-mile 1 race over in France on heavy. So hopefully the drop back won't cause him too many problems.
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you, Johnny. Well, I'm hoping that the drop back in trip might do Garlaw some good.
Oh, a rare OJ tip.
No, not an OJ tip.
I'm getting stuck in now, OJ.
Nobody wants any of them. Jesus
My
Christ.
50p's are out.
He likes the old 2.5 miles, though. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. So nobody particularly strong. Johnny, Vittorino, Excello for Liz. Ian was going with Jetoile, and Alex was going to the bar. So thank you, folks. We'll move swiftly along in that case to the 150, the Cotswold Chase, 3-mile 1 furlong. Stay away, Faye, stepping up into open company. Johnny, what's your thoughts on that happening?
Yeah, well, obviously I'm going to stick with one of my faves, Stay Away Faye, who I picked on the horses to follow earlier on in the season. Obviously, he's a novice in the race, and it's quite a decent race, to be fair. But he's getting like £3 off a couple of the others. He's obviously not the flashiest of horses, but I just love the way he sort of grinds and guts it out. Obviously, winning the Albert Bartlett last year in that sort of manner. That was also on the new course, actually, and so is this. So that'll probably help. I mean, if he wins this, he'll probably be quite a solid favourite for the Browns, wouldn't he, in March? So I want to see a good run from him on Saturday. The other one, my other favourite from last season, Ahoy Senor runs. Obviously, I always want to see him run well, but I still think he should go the Stayers Hurdle route because I think he'd have a good chance in that. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, Stay Away Faye for me for Paul Nicholls.
Thank you, Johnny. Liz, are you Stay Away Faye fan? You've been impressed this season so far?
I am, and he's obviously done well winning his last 2 novice chases. He likes to lead, he likes to dispute it, but I think he's going to have an interesting matchup, I think, with Royal Pagale, however you want to say that, just based on his Betfair Chase win in November. He just appears to be very switched on. Obviously, he was a 6th in last year's Gold Cup, 2nd in the King George, behind Brave Man's Game in 2022. But Rolls evidently swapped for that win in November. But his jumping can be a bit iffy, which is a slight concern. But if he turns up like he did in that Betfair Chase, I think it's his for the taking. And like we were saying with Ahoy Senor, obviously won this race last year. But I wonder where his career is going to go if he doesn't do something soon, because he hasn't done anything, has he? He's a really sketchy jumper, and he jumped right a lot. So I don't know what the future holds if he doesn't turn up on Saturday, but Royal Pagaille for me.
Thank you, Liz. How's the ground looking for Saturday anyway, Al? How's it looking down there?
I think it's good to soft at the moment. I don't think there's any more rain forecast, or if there is, it's very little. So, well, I think we'll probably get good to soft, maybe even like a bit of good in places, possibly.
Okay. Lovely. Thank you. Ian?
I'm with Johnny. I'm in the stay away fade camp as well. I think he looks to win up 2 proper staying wins, beating one of Alex's favourites, the Changing Man, and Grey Dawn at Exeter. Obviously, that form's come out since. And a very good performance, I thought, at Sandown, when it was absolutely god-awful ground, beating the well-fancied Giovinco by 1.5 lengths. Guys were saying about the £3, that might help slightly. And saying about Royal Pagaille was impressive, beating Brave Man's Game. But to me, he doesn't seem to like Cheltenham, so that's put me off a bit. And the Real Whacker's been disappointing this season. Obviously, he won the Brown Advisory last season. And sadly, we're saying about Ahoy Senor, Johnny's favourite. 2Ps doesn't sound good. It's like a countdown bald. But I'll go with Stay Away Faye. I think he'll be the likely winner, to be honest. It's normally a Gold Cup trial, isn't it? You look at some of the previous winners like Santini and Native River and Frodon. But I think if he wins this, he's going to be a great contender for the Brown Advisory.
You had to get Santini in there, didn't you?
I was just going to say that. All aboard.
Go on, Alex. Tell us what happens.
I went through this race and I came up with a long list for all the horses about why I didn't want to back them, which is a really good place to start. I mean, I can see that the logic was Stay Away Fade, but I mean, if this was a handicap, he'd be getting £16 off Royal Pagaille. Then he had Royal Pagaille itself. I mean, I think he only really likes soft or heavy ground, doesn't he? The Real Whacker was pretty crap here first time out this season. Then he was a little bit better at the King George. Ahoy Senor's been rubbish for a long time. And he only ever seems to come alive normally at Aintree, doesn't he, Johnny? He's normally like the Aintree banker. Gino's a handicapper, and Capadano, he just can't jump. He couldn't jump a hurdle. So I have no idea why they decided to send him over fences. So that was always didn't make any sense to me. So I thought, well, which one can I forgive the best, or forgive the easiest? So I'm going to side with the Real Whacker, because although he wasn't particularly good in his first start, and he was a little bit better the second start. He was the same last year. It took him a race to get going. So hopefully he'll be. I mean, he was only actually beating 10 lengths into King George, which I didn't realise. I thought he was beating way further than that. So I'll have a speculative little punt on him, just hoping that he can continue that improvement. Maybe they're, I don't know, taking it a bit slower than this year, trying to get him to peak for the festival. But it's not a particularly confident selection. It's just which one do I don't like any of them. Which one do I dislike the least, basically?
Thank you, Al. That's fine. That's
great.
Fine. Not a problem there. Real Whacker for Alex. Yeah, with Stay Away Faye, I mean, is it a brave move chucking him in here at all, do you think? I mean, it could be quite a tough race for him, couldn't it? Especially
it is brave, but I mean, maybe it shows how much they think of him.
Yeah.
It's not like there's like a maybe they just want to give him a tough race, because normally they'll enter him in something, everything else won't bother, and end up like 1 to 3 against a horse that have no chance. At least it gives him some kind of experience against better horses.
Yeah, and if he loses, he might go to the National Hunt Chase. If he loses, he might go to the National Hunt Chase.
Maybe, yeah.
Yay!
Really.
I like him in that. He'd win that easy.
Pocket talking, that is.
I know it is, yeah.
Okay, be interesting watch. So Stay Away Faye for Ian and John, Royal Pagaille for Liz, and Alex is having a speculative go on the Whacker, hoping to regain some of last year's past glories. Okay, 2:25 in the Clarence house. Chase. Ian, I skipped you from starting a race, and John Bond's in here, so you're going to have to...
On my notes, I've just written John Bond. That's it.
End off.
That's it. That's it.
Well, he's taken on... He's taken on and beaten quite comfortably Editor and Nuba Negra twice this season already, hasn't he? So,
yeah, Elixir to Nuts. It's not really.
There you go. I've stitched you up, haven't I?
I know. Yeah. But I was just, if we talk about the Clarence South Sea previous years, I think the last horse to win this and then win anything at Cheltenham was Altion. That was like 2019. Shishkin, Editor Jeet and First Flow. So it could be, I don't know, a worrying start. I don't think he'll potentially win, not the Arkle, the Champion Chase. But yeah, I think he'll win this and then win at Aintree.
Thank you, Ian. Johnny?
Yeah, just one word, John Bond, that's it. Move on.
Alex?
Yeah, John Bond will win. And then I think I'm going to probably do a forecast with him and Nuba Negra, who normally I don't particularly like, but he's actually been better this year than every time he's run this year, he's done better than I thought. And he actually really, like, the better the ground is, the better he is. And this is sort of the soundest of the surfaces that he'll have run on this year. So, I mean, the fact that he's 16-1, he's the outsider, I think you might get at least a little bit more value if you go John Bond to win and then him in second. So that's what I'm going to play.
Thank you. And Liz? John Bond?
No, I'm going to go against it. No, I'm joking. No, of course
I was getting excited.
I'm just here to watch this race, to be honest. It is John Bond. Although we were talking at the beginning, obviously, with Allaho, the news that Allaho is out. I wonder if he might switch from the Champion Chase and now go to the Ryanair. It's a possibility. But yeah, I don't think there's anything in this race that's going to cause him any concern.
Oh, you can't do that. You can't be afraid of one horse. He's got to go the Champion Chase. He can do the Ryanair next year.
John's not happy. Interesting angle. Right, thank you guys. Short and sweet, but that's fine. That's fine. Okay, 3:00, Unibet Hurdle. Lossymouth. Lovely Lossymouth. Liz, do you want to kick us off here?
Yes. And I'm not, a bit like John Bond, I'm not going to look past the beautiful grey mare of Lossymouth, only beaten once in her career. That was by Gala Marceau, and she switched those roles a couple of times, especially in that Triumph Hurdle. First time out this season for her, but I think she's been given plenty of time to mature. She's 9-4 favourite for the Mares Hurdle, but she's got a nice style, which I like, always picks up over the last. And like I say, I'm not going to talk about any of the others because I think this is Lossymouth's to lose.
Lovely. And Mares Hurdle after? Will she win that?
I think so.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Love to hear that. Right.
Yeah, she's 9-4 favourite, and I think, yeah, for sure. This and then the Mares Hurdle.
Class horse. Alex.
More of a comment really about the race. I mean, when all the news came out that Constitution Hill wasn't going to go for it, it sounded like it was going to be sort of a pretty poor renewal. But I mean, looking at the card, it's actually pretty decent, to be honest. I mean, didn't expect Lossymouth to come over, and obviously Love Envoy's running, but it's probably not the deepest race that you could hope. But yeah, I think Lossymouth's going to win. I think this is a distance really. She's a 2-miler. I think she'll probably end up running in the Mares Hurdle this year because it's probably a year too soon for her to go up against the horse and the champion. And then I think next year she'll be a Champion Hurdle horse for me.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Ian? Ian's going to go Love Envoy here.
No,
I can see it.
No, I like Lossymouth as well. I'm not sure if it's a clever piece of booking on by Mr. Mullins, but obviously previous Cheltenham winner. As the guy said earlier, you look at some of these Love Envoi, may not have the ground that she likes. She normally likes soft to heavy ground, and then you look at some of these others, Rubald and First Street. I think beaten well convincingly by Constitution Hill previously last time out. I can't even say the mare's allowance because Love Envoi is getting 11-1 and Lossiemouth 11-3. But I still, it could be a clever piece of booking for Mr. Mullins. So I'll go with Lossiemouth as well.
Thank you very much. And Johnny's a big Lossiemouth fan, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I like both of them, don't I, to be fair. But yeah, it was interesting that Love Envoi got the £2, actually. I mean, whether it'll play a part, I'm not so sure. But I sort of toed and froed between them. But like Alex said, with the 2 mile, is it 2 mile 1? 2 mile 1.
2 mile 1.
Yeah, I think this will probably suit Lossie more than Love Envoi. Just like one thing, I mean, if Lossiemouth did absolutely destroy Love Envoi, won by like 10 lengths, would they chuck her in the champion hurdle? I mean, she's still got an entry in it, hasn't she? So it's not beyond sort of possibility. Maybe it'd be better to wait till next season. But it'd be just good to see this. I'm looking forward to this race a lot because I like both horses. So, but I'll go with Lossie for the purpose of this.
Do you not think it's interesting they've not put her in like a 2-4, 2-3 race rather than 2 mile?
Yeah.
Some of these others, if you look at the mares hurdle, especially we talk about some of the other mares that are running at Doncaster, like Astro and Gala Marceau, they're running over they've run over them, one over the higher distance.
He's got so many runners, Mullins. He's got to split them up, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Somewhere. So, he's trying to sort of keep them apart, isn't he, until March? So that's probably the reasoning behind that.
Vroom Vroom Mag ran over 2 miles before she won the mares hurdle in that season.
Yeah.
But then she also ran over 3 miles. So
yeah,
love that horse. Love that horse. Yeah.
Right, lovely. Thank you, guys. So we'll all be watching Lossiemouth intently as we move on to the 3:35, the Cleeve Hurdle. Oh, come on, the champ. Who's overdue starting with a race? Ian, it's got to be you, I think.
Well, this might upset Johnny, but please, Matty. I'm gonna go with Paisley Park. I think this could be his swan song, his final win.
Said that last twice.
You keep saying it, you're right at some point, though, Joe.
Yes, swan songs can one horse have.
Yeah, he's about 48. But I think the last time out, I think it was the £6. I think it could be, or not £6. Sorry, 6 lengths. When he was second to Crambo and Dashel Drasher was third, 6 lengths behind. I think that could be quite crucial. Some of these others, Noble Yates probably needs further. Champ, I'm not sure. But Paisley Park, as I say, he's won this. Did he win this last season? I believe he did. But it will be close. But I think this will be Paisley's final win for me. And then he can whatever happens in the Stayers Hurdle, and then he can retire and go from there.
Okay, thank you, Ian. We'll wait with bated breath for the swan song. Yeah. Wasn't it the French horse that won this last year?
Yeah, Gold Tweet, wasn't it?
Oh, was it really? I'm sorry. I thought it was.
I think
sorry.
I got a feeling. I think Paisley was an unlucky loser again.
Oh,
okay. Where should we go? Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, this race we seem to discuss over and over again throughout the season, don't we? Because they seem to just meet each other pretty much every meeting. I mean, you know who I like already, don't you? Really, OJ, and that's the Dashel Drasher again, one of my old favourites once again. He's just like dead consistent, isn't he? He always gives you a run for your money. So shame there's not 8 runners because he would be like in each way to nothing, wouldn't he? Be all filthy each way, but I'll probably go for him. I do actually think the danger could be Noble Yates. I mean, if you look at, he's getting £6, and that puts him bang there with all the others. And reverting back to hurdles is, it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? So I think he could have a little squeak in this, but you can't back both of them at 4-1, can you? Because you're only getting sort of like whatever evens or whatever your money, aren't you? So I'll go for the Drasher with the dangerous Noble Yates.
Thank you, Johnny. Liz?
As a lot of people know, I'm Dasher Drasher's biggest fan.
Hey.
Purely because he's decent at both hurdles and chasing. He switches it up as and when, and I love a front runner, and he just tries so hard all of the time. He's never fallen. He's only ever unseated once and pulled up once. And in his 30 races, he's won or placed 22 times. Now, that's some feat, if you ask me. Paisley Park, obviously just got done by Rambo at Ascot last time out. Speedy at the end, if he's ridden a bit closer, he was ridden a bit closer up at that time, which I think may be the key again. He's got a good Cheltenham record, won this race in 2022. And a third in it last year, which made me wonder whatever happened to last year's winner, Gold Tweet. He won in December back in France. He's not come back to the UK since his 8th in the Stayers at the festival. But we never heard from him again since he won that really well last year. Champ, only his second. It's going to only be his second start this season. And it's going to be his second start since his wind up. He's also oldish at 12. I think this division is full of oldies. Of course, there's obviously some upcoming younger ones, but it's good to see the older ones still winning these and still being competitive, which is what I love about National Hunt racing. But Champ's had an odd path. He wins the RSA in 2020. Pulled up in the Gold Cup the year after that, and he's been hurdling ever since with some mixed results. But Noble Yates, as you were just talking about there, Johnny, he's been really well backed, I noticed, through the week. So it's maybe something to have a look at. But my heart says Dashel Drasher, my head says Paisley Park, and my head always rules over my heart. So I think Paisley Park will win this.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've got to bring it back onto Champ there. It's the same. It's similar to a Hoy Senior, isn't it? You know, it's, I don't know. Flattering to deceive. Is that the right phrase or the wrong phrase? I don't know. I love Champ. So, Crambo was mentioned before, so over to Crambo's number one fan from Dasher Drasher's number one fan, Alex.
Thanks, OJ. But before I get started, Ian, is this the first time we've ever had a preview that you haven't put up a Henderson horse?
I've put up one.
Oh, have you? Okay, that just missed that one. Okay.
John Bond.
Oh, yeah, well, 1 to 3. Brave selection there, Ian.
His neck on the block.
He's got one more race as well left yet.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to side with one of the outsiders, the youngest horse in the race, and it's Strong Leader. I've always been a fan of this horse, and I couldn't for the life of me understand what the support was last time on New Year's Day. Obviously, a lot of market support. I think he was backed in from a double-figure price into 3-1, and I mean, heavy ground. All of his form is on good or good soft ground. He's better. The sound of the surface, the better he is. So to me, I just couldn't understand that sort of market support. But I'm going to go with him this time. He always looked to me like he'd be better the further he went. I mean, if you're looking into his pedigree, he's actually by the same sire as Dasher Drasher. And his dam sire is Westerner, who's the same sire who, produced one of my favourite Stayers Hurdle winners, Cole Harden. Love that horse, proper brave horse. So, I'm going to take a chance that, I mean, the market support obviously last time was proving that he's obviously in good nick, but I just don't think that he got anywhere near the ground that he wants. And first time over 3 miles, 7-year-old, entitled to keep improving. And I think a lot of these horses are a bit over the cliff, to be honest, in my opinion. So I'm going to stick with the outsider and hope for some. I mean, you can get 12-1, 3 places with Bet365 at the moment. I mean, there's only 7 runners. He should be in the first 3, in my opinion. So, I'm going to have a go on him.
I detect that little twinkle in your eye there, Alex. I think you're quite keen here, aren't you?
I am pretty keen. Yeah, I'm happy that because I wanted him in his novice season. I wanted him to go for the Ballymore because just always seemed to me like he's a proper. Well, the further he goes, the better. And I think was it first or second time out this season when he finished behind that Blue King Daru, and he was absolutely flying at the finish in that Grade 2, and that was over 2.5 miles. That was obviously on a better surface as well, and that Blue King Daru wasn't beaten that far by Paisley Park and Crambo and all those last time either. So,
and he looks a strong stayer.
Yeah, and he was flying at the end, strong leader. So, yeah, I think we're going to hopefully we'll start to see the best of him now that he was taking that step up to 3 miles.
Better check that coffee jar again, Ian. Getting that glint in Alex's eye. Okay, thank you, strong leader for Alex. Johnny's sticking with the old favourite, Dashel Drasher. And Liz and Ian are both on Paisley Park.
Liz is not.
Yes.
She's on the Drasher.
Yeah, and
I thought you said
my heart says Dashel, but my head says Paisley.
And then she said
I would love it if Dashel could win, but look at me doubting him. I would love him to win, but I think Paisley Park, if he's ridden up close to the pace, then I think he'll win.
Thank you, Liz. Thanks for putting Ian in his place. Ian, pay attention. I'll take a written apology from you later, Ian. Maureen will be in touch. Another disciplinary meeting for Ian. Right, thanks, guys. Be another interesting watch. Okay, last race of the day already. 4:10 SSS Super Alloys Novices Hurdle, registered as the classic Novices Hurdle, over 2.5 miles. And Alex, I believe it's your turn to kick us off. In the last race.
It's a bit boring, really, but I'm going to side with the favourite, Gidley Park. Very good in his 2 starts this year. Could potentially become one even for the festival, maybe. Maybe Ballymore, possibly. Depends on obviously what goes there, Ballyburn, etc. But yeah, I think he could be very, very good. One of the horse he beat, the Jukebox Man, finished second in. I can't remember what the race was. My brain's gone. Sorry, it was third at Newbury to Captain Teague and then Look Away. So I think that's some good form. Obviously, I mean, he was well beaten by Gidley Park as well. So yeah, I'm going to side with him. He's very short price, but I mean, other than Johnny Who, there's not particularly very much in this field.
Okay.
It's not very imaginative to selection. Sorry, OJ.
That's perfectly fine, Alex. Perfectly fine. Ian.
No, I echo what Alex says. That's what I've got in most of my notes. I think he was more impressive at his win at Newbury. I think he won by 9 lengths. I think he's got a mark of 138. So I think he's the obviously the top rated horse in this race. Again, could be the big British hope in the Ballymore. It's not the Ballymore now, is it? I think he's currently 10-1 at the minute. So it could be worth a bet. Maybe if you combine the two, I think some firms do where you win on Saturday and win the Ballymore. It could be a couple of quid out your jar, John and OJ. Said about Johnny Hugh as well. I was there at Newbury when they had that really grueling race on god awful ground when Captain Teague won. So I won't be in a rush to back him. I'm surprised he's come out that quick, really, because it was a god awful race, god awful ground. But and some of these others, you said about Gavin Cromwell as well, OJ, he's over. But again, I wonder if he's one that needs more of a step up in trip. I think he's run over 3 miles before. But yeah, I would agree with Alex. I'll go with Gidley Park.
Gidley Park, thank you very much. Johnny, similar thoughts?
Yeah, the guys have said pretty much everything there, really. So yeah, Gidley Park probably would be my selection in this. Going back to Johnny Hugh, maybe he needs a little bit further and we might see him as a Albert Bartlett horse, perhaps.
Yeah.
Going forward. I don't know why, but poor old Chock-a-Block has to carry 3 more pounds than all the others, and he's only rated 123. So, like Alex was going before about the handicap, he'd get £15 off Gidley Park in a handicap. So, I'm not sure what he's done to deserve the extra £3, but if anyone could tell us, please put it in the notes below into the box below, because I have no idea.
He won a Class 2 November last time.
He's the same age as most of them. He's 6, because I thought age.
Could it be that he's won a better class race?
Possibly. And he's got a penalty for it. Yeah, it might be a Class 2, because Gidley only won a Class 3 sort of last time, so maybe it's that. But yeah, Gidley Park should take all the beating here.
Looking at the conditions on the Racing Post website, it says winner of a Class 2 weight for age or Class 1 handicap hurdle, £3.
There you go then. Well done, OJ.
So,
yeah, maybe at 33-1, he's a big price then. Now looking at it, yeah, I might have convinced myself into a little each way on him as well now after all that.
Interesting.
Well, what's the old saying? What's £3 a pack of bacon or something in it? What the fuck's a pack of bacon make?
How much bacon are you buying, OJ?
I got 18 kids to feed.
Liz is gone.
Yeah. So we were just about to round things off with Liz, but unfortunately, it looks like Ian's gone and pressed the delete button.
No, I haven't.
Ian,
she's had enough of it already.
We're going to have some serious words here.
She is.
She's coming back now.
It's coming back. So yeah. So yeah, as in the bacon, we do like bacon in the house, Alex.
I can imagine your bacon sandwiches, OJ.
Yes. Well, there's a lot to fill, mate.
Same.
Welcome back, Liz. I think we.
Sorry, don't press buttons. Is the moral of the story.
No need for apologies. We're pretty sure it was Ian. He'll get the And the only reason was we were going to let you wrap things up as our special guest with the last selection of the recording.
Well, I don't have a particularly strong fancy at the last, but it is going to be an interesting one to watch. I think I was actually hoping Django Bay was going to be entered, but it hasn't. This race in the past has been won by Wichita Lineman, Bobsworth, and even Yanworth, to name a few. But I know a few people that really liked Johnny Hugh in that shallow hurdle. I thought he finished quite well coming fourth, considering he was 6 lengths down at the last. And if you look back at his point form, he's beaten Hermes Allen by 19 lengths. Gidley Park, as you've all kind of said, he's unbeaten so far. He's obviously highly thought of, but I think he's too short. And I am a fan of some each way value. Maybe an Antrim Coast at 7s. Obviously being dropped back in trip, which I think is interesting. However, Gavin Cromwell is on a poor run of late. But like I say, each way money for Antrim Coast.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
OJ.
Yes.
You know who else has won this race before in the past? Santini.
Give it up, will you?
Put your hat on.
18.
Get your hat down off the top of that wardrobe. Get your hat on.
Yeah, I'll have it for the Gold Cup, for Cheltenham.
Right. Thank you very much. Speaking of which, being totally naive, does anybody know what Gidley Park's named after? Anybody?
A big house.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
That's the best I had. Sorry.
That'll do. So we got 3 tipsters on. 3 tipsters.
Ooh.
3 of our guys on the big house.
Gidley Park is a luxury hotel in Newton Abbot. There you go.
Nice race course there.
Very good.
I like Newton Abbot.
Johnny goes to a lot of luxury hotels. He's probably been there, just forgotten.
I wish.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, I'm waffling as usual. Nothing new. So, yeah, thank you all very much. As per usual, I'm going to quickly zip round and ask you all for your bet of the meeting, if I may. And once again, we have to go to our very special guest first of all. Liz, what would your bet be on Saturday at Cheltenham?
Nap-wise, I don't know. That's a very difficult question. Nap-wise, Burdett Road.
Thank you very much, Aldo. Matty, you'll be chuffed with that one.
He would.
He'll be chuffed with that. Ian, go on.
I'll go with Stay Away Faye.
Stay away, Faye.
Sorry,
Johnny, no need to pull faces. You can go with the same.
I was going to go Stay Away
always say
Faye.
this. You can go the same. Go the same.
Yeah.
Just
I was trying to keep away from the even shot. So
go Sergino.
Yeah. No, because he's still not a very big price, is he? No. Okay, I'll go Ginny's Destiny then.
Ginny's Destiny. Okay, but we also know that you're very keen on Stay Away Faye.
I am.
Alex, how bright was that twinkle in your eye on Strong Leader? Was it strong? Was it twinkly enough?
Yeah, well, maybe. I was going to go Burdett Road, but obviously Liz has gone Burdett Road, so I think I'll go for a big outsider. Well, I say big outsider. I will go for the outsider, and I will stick with Strong Leader.
Oof.
Strong.
Where's that coffee jar?
How many 50p's you got in there, OJ?
Not enough, I don't think. It's all going on Railway Hurricane. So there we go.
That's OJ's nap, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, nobody wants to know about that. So, yeah, thank you, guys. Brilliant. Really enjoyed tonight. Liz, thank you ever so much for joining us. Hopefully you would be willing to come on again soon, because it's been great fun having you on. Fellas, thank you for your thoughts and opinions as always. For anybody who might have turned on out there and watching this tomorrow morning at 8:30, please like and share and comment and whatever.
Subscribe, OJ.
Subscribe. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Comment.
I was going to go into a long story then, but my little 4-year-old lad, he obviously watches too much YouTube because he started playing with his toys, and he goes, "Right, guys, you better subscribe to this now." Oh my God. I don't think he's been watching me, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, so do all that liking, subscribing, sharing, and remember in the comments to put down if there's anything you strongly fancy or get a bit of debate going. Aside from that, Ian, we've got a DRF preview recording next week, have we?
Yeah, so it'll be next Friday morning again, just in time for the all the decks to come in. For
the trip. And for those of you going over, 3 of you on here tonight, have a brilliant time. Enjoy the Guinness.
Looking forward to this, buy me a beer.
Enjoy Saturday at Cheltenham, Alex.
Can't wait.
He only drinks halves, Liz, so you're all right.
Yeah, he'll be cheap. He drinks halves and then he's giving them away.
You can down a pint the quickest.
It won't be Ian. It'll take him an hour.
Brilliant. Right. Yes, that's I think that's a wrap. So thank you all very much, and we hope to see you all again soon.